Argentina, 34. China's Li Jingliang is 32. Both fighters 6 feet tall. Both coming in right on the 170-pound number. 1.5-inch reach advantage with Santiago Ponzinibbio. All right, now for the particulars, here's Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 17 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Beijing, China, Li, the Leech, Jingliang!
Yeah!
And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 28 wins, 3 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, USA, Santiago, Argentina, Ponzinibbio! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, one of the best in the business, draws the assignment here. Also one of the best, Red De La Cruz, as usual, with us here on Fight Island. Great to have you with us tonight on ABC. Li Jingliang, plus 250 dog tonight against that man, Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Ready, fight!
This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo. Ponzinibbio is in blue. Li is in red. Here we go.
And one thing about Ponzinibbio, he's always had a fantastic jab. One of the guys in mixed martial arts that fights behind that jab and really batters and bruises up the face before he starts letting those right hands fly that you saw him put out Neil Magny with and hurt Gunnar Nelson before finishing him with a left jab that ended the night for him.
He's got super quick hands, very, very fast. And you can see with all of this movement here, they're both just trying to get a bead on each other, seeing where they can throw those punches where the energy won't be wasted, because once they go, they go.
This is the moment in a fight, Dan, and you can speak to this too, where you're just nervous. I mean, you don't know if the guy's going to punch you, kick you. You're kind of trying to figure out how fast he is. It is such a nerve-wracking moment until someone hits the other guy. Then you're like, okay, here we go.
It's exactly it. That first shot is kind of a relief, isn't it? It's like, oh, okay.
This ain't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Ponzinibbio 28-3. He's had a lot of medical issues over the past few years. Had a bone infection that caused some complications, then was hospitalized.
The Leech has got some thighs on him as well.
He does.
Sorry, DC, carry on.
Li just landed a beautiful little check left hook there when Ponzinibbio tried to throw a right hand.
The thing that makes the Leech dangerous is that he doesn't mind taking a shot to land one. He's going to have to do that against Ponzinibbio because I feel like he's got the more direct, faster punches. But the Leech will certainly wade his way into range and start cracking him with big hooks if he leaves himself in risk.
Well, to this point, Li is out ahead of him. You know, a little more active landing, doing a good job of keeping Ponzinibbio on his heels. And again, it might take Ponzinibbio a little bit of time to get reacclimated to the octagon, get his feel. I know we spoke about ring rust earlier, but I mean, if you're talking about a guy that may be a prime candidate for ring rust, it is Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Oh, for sure. And the amount of time he spent thinking about returning to the UFC, he's built this moment up in his head. That's going to give you a little anxiety going in there because you want to perform. You want to show people that that win streak you were on is deserved.
And he's told everyone what he's going to do, too. So he's put a lot of pressure on himself to perform at a high level.
Ponzinibbio does work for us on the commentary team on the Spanish side, and he feels like that has sort of been a saving grace to be around the sport, immersing himself in it. But he feels like for the Leech, this was a mistake, accepting this fight against him. We shall see.
Li has done a good job.
Man.
Yep, sorry, John. Li has done a good job of just keeping his hands moving. So Ponzinibbio has not figured out how to enter range yet and get close to Li.
And there is an awkwardness to the movement of Li as well. You can see how he's constantly shifting his head from side to side. And someone with straight punches like Ponzinibbio, they need to be on target, otherwise they're going to miss. That's why he's waiting and he's biding his time. Perhaps the Leech will slow down a little.
You can't miss against a guy like Li either, because if you miss and you're out of position, he will throw one of those looping left hooks and the right hand over the top, and he can end your night.
Nice inside low kicks as well from Jingliang.
Just touching him.
You can see some redness though on the thigh.
Notice his hands never stop moving, though. Look at his hands. They're constantly just moving. Keep Ponzinibbio aware that something may come, even though he's not throwing.
That was a good check on that low kick. It's going to give you a lump on your shin.
Strong start for Lee after that fight against Neil Magny back in March, DC, that he told you was the worst effort he had thrown out there in the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. He said he did not fight to his potential. You know, he underestimated the amount of time he needed to be in Vegas. He had to fly to Thailand before going to Vegas. You remember that the travel into Vegas for a lot of these international fighters can be very difficult, and Lee thought that played a part in him fighting the fight that he had against Neil Magny. I believe that Neil Magny's just that tough.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no shame in losing to Neil Magny.
Oh! The lead with a stunner!
Hey, you can't miss. You can't miss.
Can't miss with the leech.
You can't miss.
Can't miss with the leech.
He will throw the right hand, the loop and left hook. You can't miss against this guy. And look at what happened when Ponzinibbio entered and he missed, John.
Wow, are the dogs barking tonight? Li Jingliang with a rude welcome back
here! I'm dying!
for Santiago Ponzinibbio, and Ponzinibbio is livid.
Oh my goodness.
What
Still
a
not
moment
quite sure what's
for
going on.
Li Jingliang, 10th UFC win, and once it's official, 7th by knockout.
Let's take a look at this. I mean, the leech.
Look at this.
He just waits, sees his opportunity. Big left hook, whack! I mean, he's reaching from right in his back pocket all the way over.
Look at the right hand of Ponzinibbio missing.
How?
Against a guy that throws big looping punches like that.
Yeah.
You can't miss big, because when you miss big, you're so out of position, you can't get your hands back to the right place. And Li Jingliang is throwing that left hook, and if he would have missed the left hook, he would have threw a big looping right hand that may have caught Ponzinibbio. Cannot miss with these big power punches like that. Not big.
So China top teams Li Jingliang, one of the nicest men or women on this roster, top to bottom, with a huge result here in Abu Dhabi. We will talk to the Leech after this as Fight Night continues. Okay, we got 20 seconds. Here we go. Easy night for the judges thus far on ABC. UFC Fight Night is presented by Modelo. All right, to make this one official, we toss it inside now to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 25 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Li the Leech Jingliang.